What up? What up? What up? Twos, throw your twos in the air for
You're
season 2, episode 1. I can't even. Episode 1, season 2 of the
you're
PR project. I think this is officially something like the NYC Project. We are here, bro. Officially ready to go. We gon' what are we doing right now? Like what's today mean to you?
I don't know, it's just a day, I guess. No, I'm just playing.
No, what's tomorrow mean to you then? Because today is just I guess today is just a day. But what's tomorrow mean to you? Tomorrow's also just a day, but what does it mean to you?
I mean, it means I guess we're officially like into the next training block, but I feel like I've been mentally there for a few weeks now.
Yeah,
So I don't know. Ever since we left Oregon, I just kind of like New York.
locked in.
New York.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? That's kind of just been on the front of my brain. So
yeah,
yeah, it's an official like step towards the next thing, but I've been
yeah.
there, dog. I've been locked in. You feel me? I've been going crazy.
Yeah, I know. I mean, and it is like because I think in some of our training blocks before, last year when we started the PR project, or this year when we started the PR project, I mean, we had been training pretty heavy leading up to it, but we just had like that official, like, okay, we're 12 weeks out. Here's what we're doing, blah, blah, like, so that's that kind of feel like where like it's for you for sure. Cause I got something like coming up in a little bit here, but like you definitely like, okay, you've been ramped up for this training block, this 12 weeks. It gets I'm about to say it's gonna get hectic, but you already been pretty hectic and heavy with the miles and the training. How you feeling right now though? Going into like knowing that you're officially in your 12-week block, how you feeling going into the 12th?
Um, I'm excited. Um, Legs are already kind of heavy,
Yeah,
but that's just because the volume is increasing. So
yeah.
just trying to pay extra attention to recovery and all of that good stuff. But
What's
yeah,
your what,
man,
what's your volume like right now?
I think I hit 63 today. So
Yeah,
been above 50 for the last couple of weeks, and
yeah,
then hit 60 this week. So it's only up from here, as they say.
yeah, man. I think I'm at like 50. I think I hit 59.1 this week.
Hmm.
But because I got this I got the first big stop of the tour coming up.
You're,
For I got to do Erie Marathon. I got to do Erie Marathon to just kind of it's the day before the cutoff of Boston, so I'm just gonna run that race. Hopefully, do like a little, a sub 3. Nothing crazy, not going all out, obviously, and then um, that's the day before the registration opens. So it's like I'm cutting it like super close. So one race, hopefully just get sub 3 real quick and then move on. But I do feel like
I want
now,
to take a moment. I just want to take a moment because when I read your post today, I'm
yeah,
like, he was just like, just a quick little BQ real quick just to get it out the way. Like it was just so like nonchalant. And
yeah,
I'm just like, I think
no,
sometimes we gotta take a step back and realize like we are blessed to be able to do this.
yeah,
We are, what I'm saying? We the fact that we are able to do things. Well, I ain't gonna say we because I haven't even qualified for Boston yet, but the fact that you are able to just like be like, yeah, I'm just gonna throw this in there just to check it off the list. Like it's
yeah.
kind of
Well, I mean,
unfathomable a few years ago. You know what I'm saying?
oh,
Like since
for
it was
sure,
such a
for
big
sure.
goal, but now it's just like you expect that for yourself. And I
Yeah,
saw
for
something online the other day that was like a lot of times we don't acknowledge our growth because we're continually raising the bar for ourselves.
yeah,
So I definitely feel like I just wanted to take a moment to acknowledge the growth. Uh, I mean, literally and figuratively in your journey from a brother with a one all the way around to a brother with free form blocks out here just running BQs when he feel like it.
Hey, dog, you serious, dog? I had a 1 all the way around. So basically, it's all the same length all the time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's either a 1 or this.
We call
But
it an even Steven.
yeah, man, is no, I think like I tried to write that too, like not sounding like okay, so like I guess whatever we're doing in life, because I've always downplayed, what I've done, and said like little stuff that would make other people feel comfortable, or make people think that I'm not, like I don't think I'm like the shit or whatever. But sometimes like I sometimes you just gotta say what your goals are, you know, like and hopefully people have been following me long enough to know that I would, like you said, I wouldn't have said it that way, you know, a year ago or 2 years ago. You know, it's like it's I guess we should just be what we are at the moment, you know, like, and if you've grown to a point where, you know, you were trying to, you know, break 5 hours and you did that and now you've moved on, that was a year ago and you feel more fit and you would be upset if you only did 5 hours and you're really going after four or whatever it is, then accept that that's where you are right now. And we should all share our growth in that way, you know, and not always have to feel like we got to hold back. So yeah, I tried to you know, thread that needle, but apparently it didn't go off well.
Yeah. So shout out to Ron, season 2. Let's go, fellas. You already know. Shout out to Jessica. Focus. You guys are awesome. Thank you. I think we're kind of decent too. That's kind of what's up. And
Yeah.
Malik says quick sub 3 marathon workout for breakfast. You know what I'm saying? Light work. Yeah.
Not
Yeah, it's crazy.
and I don't any by any stretch of the imagination, I do not feel like it'll be light work. It is 26.2 miles. It's not going to be fun. I'm hoping that, you know, like that the first 20 miles feels different than, you know, than if I was to be running a little faster. Hopefully it's just a little slightly easier, but this is not going to be a walk in the park because, you know, sub 3 for 26.2 miles is a big thing. You
Yeah,
know, so
and you have to give it the appropriate amount of respect.
oh yeah, oh yeah,
Obviously,
I'm
got to
trying.
respect the distance,
Yeah,
and just respect the process and the fact that, like we said, you know what I'm saying, we can't take anything for granted,
mhm.
especially in this running space because this running thing can be very cruel.
Yep,
It can be very what's the word? I don't want to use a negative word. It could just be very heartbreaking sometimes. I guess
yeah,
that's
yeah. That's real.
this running thing.
That's real.
And one thing I've learned, like sometimes this running thing is a little like it's almost like baseball. Like if you get a hit 30% of the time you come up to bat in baseball for your career, you're probably going to be in the Hall of Fame. And running is kind of similar. Like 30% of your races you might be happy with, and the rest you'll just be like, man, I could have did this, I could have did that. So a lot of times we do get caught up in wanting more, but it's like also take the time to acknowledge like what you just tried. You know, like
Yeah,
wow, I had the courage to even go out there and try something like that. That's something
yep.
that's you know what I'm saying? That alone is a lot to be proud about.
Yeah, no, for real, for real. Hold on, what we got here? Who said what? Yeah, man. Yeah, that's straight up. Alexa says, like, you know, the saying, the marathon owes you nothing. Like,
Absolutely
and it
nothing.
ain't going and it ain't gonna give you nothing either. You gotta earn everything out there, which is dope though, you know. And I do, I'm trying my best, like you said, to respect the miles, respect the marathon, but then also go at it with, you know, with some vigor. Um, what I just want to talk about this real quick because I'll let you go first on this one. But what are your key focuses for like for a train for this training block? Like what? Because we know like as you go through, we all learn. You had a very successful training block the last time for Rhode Island, but even successes, failures, we should look for ways to learn out of each one. What do you think your key focuses are for this training block?
Um, I think it actually leans into the fact that the last training block went so well.
Mm-hmm.
I want to approach this training block with that same amount of caution, that same amount of respect, because a lot of times we'll go through a good block, we'll have a good race, and then we kind of get a little, um, we get a little high on our own. You know what I'm saying? Like we kind of start like believing our own hype a little bit, and that's an easy way to be like, oh well, I don't need to do this strength workout today, or oh I don't need to foam roll today, I'll be
Right,
fine,
right, right.
or you know what I'm saying. So it's just allowing that same amount of care and respect to the details, and just focusing in on those things, even if the workouts aren't killing me, even if I feel like I've been here before, still allowing myself to uh I, like the intro of I don't know if you well you're definitely familiar, but the intro of my first song with the Biggie quote, he was like, you gotta treat every day
Yeah.
like you an intern. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like you gotta hustle like that. So it's the same way. I don't I don't put on any airs that I'm this marathon expert or anything like that. Like I'm still early in my journey and I'm still learning. So every little bit that I can take advantage of as far as recovery, as far as knowledge, as far as sleep, whatever, I'm trying to tap into all of that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that honestly, let's just be real here. I think I kind of did that for Boston. I mean, even though Boston was like such a big deal for me, and like that was like the goal for so long to get there and run well there, I honestly feel like I was running so well, and felt so good for such a extended period of time that I was like, like foam rolling, I ain't got time. I mean, I don't think I said out loud, like, I don't have time to foam roll. You just kind of just push it off to the side and strength training, like, oh, that's cool. I'm gonna do it. Good job, Aaron. Do your thing. But I'm not, I don't know. Like, I just didn't have time, but like, honestly, like if you want to do anything, like you always, if, we can't control, if you step on a curb and twist your ankle, shit, stuff like that. Well, I'm wild today. You can't control none of that stuff, but you can control what you put into it. And I was actually if I was actually stayed with Kira D'Amato, who is the American women's record holder for the marathon, and only just being with her for staying with her family for 2 nights, I learned so much about like how to go about running while you're trying to be great or you are great. Like she definitely spend the routine to get to the run, and then once you're at the run, like she did a lot of things before she even laced up the running shoes, which was really cool to see. Like, and obviously that's her living, but if I want to take it to the next level and I want to be able to make it through these 3 marathons or whatever, I need to do those extra things to make sure that my body's in the right position to be able to continue.
Yeah.
Because if anybody can lace on their shoes and just go out for an easy run or just go out for a workout, it should be them. They should be able to at any moment, like, forget it. I don't even need to do all that stuff today. I'm just gonna run. I ain't got time. They should be able to do it. Not me, for sure, because I'm not built. I'm built for this, but not like that. You know what I mean? So I learned a lot in that, and that's my biggest thing for this training block. My key focuses are, one of the things she said to me, which everybody knows, it's just sometimes you got to hear it from, many people at once just to kind of learn to listen to it. Sleep is your absolute biggest recovery tool. It is the most efficient recovery tool that you have at your disposal. Massage guns, cool. UFOs, sandals, definitely good, cool. All that stuff. Cherry Bundy, cool. But sleep is the one where your body rebuilds, so you need that sleep. And that's one thing too that I'm like, I watch, like, she at 9 o'clock, she's like, man, time to go. Like it was just straight up, the whole house just shut down, which is dope. But like that's one of my biggest things is sleep, and then doing the strength training and foam rolling and all that stuff. Because it wasn't just after the run, it was foam roll before, stretch and foam roll before the run. Change your shoes, whatever you got to do, go run, do your thing. At the end, same routine, stretch, foam roll. And if they're doing that, I'm gonna try to do it.
Yeah. And those things, it's like working those things to the point where they're like non-negotiables. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have to do this. This is just as important as the run. You have to kind of develop that mindset to say, I know I have to get my 8 hours. I know life happens. You know what I'm saying? Things get in the way, but also we spend a lot of time on our phones. We spend a lot of time just
I don't have time. I don't have time. And then you go, if you ask, go to your Instagram right now, or go to your app, your what is it, like in settings, you can check your screen time or whatever. Go check your screen time right now and tell me if you ain't got time or not.
Right. You're gonna be like, what is this? So like, even if it's just, for this 12 weeks leading into the race, like, I gotta put it down. You know what I'm saying? I got a time limit. I gotta put it down, especially when it's getting late, especially when it's getting close to lights out. Like, you have to be disciplined enough to put the phone down and not go back and grab it.
Yeah, that's what it is. Like, I feel like to get better sleep and you have to have a wind down routine. Like, you can't just, and for me, I can't just go, oh, I need 8 hours of sleep, and then do everything normal, and then look up and realize, like, oh, I got to get to sleep in 10 minutes for my 8 hours. That's gonna turn into going to sleep an hour later than that or more. So you got to know when you start that process. Make sure you are considerate of when dinner time is, because that's really my biggest thing is like dinner. Is like when is that? Like if we're eating dinner at 8 or finishing running at 7:30, 8 o'clock, and then eat after that, and then next thing you know it's 10:30, 11 o'clock, easy.
What happened between dinner and 11 o'clock? How did we get there so quick?
No, it's like so the phone.
Yeah, for sure.
Because you got
something in there.
You got to post the run. You got to do your stuff.
Content,
and
for sure.
Content, a show, watch part of a movie. Like whatever. You just start doing stuff. You fill the time.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But
for you, it'd be graphic design.
Yeah. To be honest, it's TikTok.
TikTok. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm glad. See, this is a place of honesty.
This is a safe space.
Yeah, safe space. What do y'all? Yeah, real quick. I know there's some people on here. We'll move on from the conversation. But if there's something that you guys you're focusing on for this training block that you're going into, or whatever it is, not even training block. If you're focusing on something a little different for your running life, share it with us right now. We'd love to talk about it because everybody's thing is different. So
also, what is your biggest barrier to 8 hours of sleep? I want to know that. That's what I want to know. What is the biggest hurdle between you guys and your 8 hours of sleep? Because for me,
you're talking. Yeah,
TikTok. It's Instagram.
Yep.
It's sometimes YouTube because I get caught up in these rabbit holes of these design tutorials that I like to watch.
Mm-hmm.
And next thing I know, I look at the video. I'm like, 32 minutes.
I got that.
Some of it, and then it's like you can't watch some of a tutorial because you want to see what it's like at the end. So
wait, are you gonna stop at step 3 of 7? Are you serious?
Right. Like it's half done. You want to see it.
And then after you watch the tutorial, what do you do with that information?
You go to now this information is fresh on my brain. Like let me go try it.
Wow. Like
this is valid. This is valid.
Man, no. It is not. It is not valid.
Look, you can't leave the toddler to like.
No, I'm not letting.
Like no.
Man, listen. As long as you don't have any sharp corners in your house,
just that baby want applesauce.
Let the kid do.
That baby want chicken nuggets.
Let the kid do the things. Feed the kid. Obviously, you feed, and then you just wake up in the morning, and the toddler will just be sleep on the floor somewhere, and that's fine.
That baby is thirsty.
Yeah, it is. I'm like downplaying like as if I don't have 2 kids. Like, yeah. My biggest hurdle, a 5-month-old. Okay, y'all and these kids, like, all right, come on, we get it, man.
Tommy, just because your kids is grown-ups.
Y'all trying to trump our like we were trying to be, real with y'all and talk about this Instagram life and all that. Y'all gonna come with actual stuff that's like real. That's not fair.
Okay. Bath and bed takes
fine.
You have to clean the child. The child has to go to bed clean.
Why does
I have no children, so fortunately or unfortunately,
all right.
You look at it.
Alexis,
I don't have to deal with that.
I'm challenging this. Alexis and Jessica, after the toddlers are in bed, do y'all not touch y'all Instagram or Facebook or YouTube?
You gotta scroll, bro. You gotta scroll. That's what I'm
saying. That's what I'm saying.
I'm so crazy. I'll be at work, and every time I complete a small task at work, I'll be like, all right, I earned some phone time.
It's like if you go out for a run, I earned this pizza.
I will open an Excel, make one change, hit save, and I'm like, okay, yep, now I got some phone time.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. So, like, Aaron's question was like, what's stopping y'all from 8 hours? So, yes, the toddlers will stop you from 8, but I'm telling y'all, what I'm saying is Instagram and Facebook and all that is stopping y'all from 7. Because after the kid go down, you gotta reward yourself.
All right, Tommy, scroll on your Coros right now. How many hours of sleep did you get last night?
Mine doesn't. I slept last night probably the best. I think I went to sleep at like 10:30, woke up at like 5:30 for a second, and then went back to sleep for another hour and a half. So I did good. But for some reason, my watch doesn't pick up my sleep every night. I think it's because of the tattoo thing. I think it slides down.
Yeah, it's possible.
What you get?
7 hours and 15 minutes.
What's 10:30 p.m. to 5:30? That's 7 hours, right?
That's 7. Yeah, that's 7.
and then I got another hour after that. So last night I slept the best that I've slept in a very long time.
That's what's up. That's what's up. We're gonna keep
I'm
that
trying.
keep that energy rolling. But they say sleep is the closest thing to a performance enhancing drug that you can get, because it repairs and restores your body and prepares you for the next day. So you gotta load up. You gotta load up, especially in this 12 weeks when we need it the most, when we're ramping up volume, ramping up intensity, and just putting additional stress on our bodies. It is very important to make sure that we are getting to bed and getting good, restful, deep sleep hygiene, all that good stuff.
Down with the concept that sleep is the cousin of death. It is not. Sleep is the cousin of success. No sleep is absolutely the cousin of death, because
your brain not functioning at 100% when you're tired.
No, it ain't.
They say being sleepy and driving is like
basically it's like almost, it's the closest thing to drunk driving. Because I know for sure I've been in the car trying open these eyes.
Man.
That's scary though when you're super tired.
Super scary.
All right, so we in in season 2. Do we don't have any more comments about what? Okay, yeah. So I think Alexis and Jessica definitely admitted that social media does have, in a show, or maybe Netflix has a small play there. So I'm glad that we all are on the same page now.
Y'all always talk about me crazy when I say I don't want to come to them early runs, but it's because I'm trying to prioritize sleep.
Okay, but it's also, all right. All right, I'm like, yo, he's like, I can't do that, man. I need my 8 hours of sleep. And I'm like, well, go to sleep at 10 instead of 2.
He couldn't give me a reason why that made sense, but okay.
I was just trying to get you to do what I needed you to do. All right. But huge thank you so much, guys, because season 2 is here. But I really want to just take a moment real quick to give a huge shout out to New Balance Running. New Balance is reached out to us months ago now, with the to invite us to come out to New York City to run the marathon with Team New Balance on the media team. So we will be going out there. New Balance is bringing us out, so we'll get to probably be part of and around some of the activations that they have going on, the group runs, all that stuff. But huge shout out to New Balance for seeing the PR project as a necessity to have with around them and with them in New York. New Balance is the key or title sponsor for the New York City Marathon. So we will be there in New York City live in full effect. We'll probably push for some type of live show before the race, obviously. So I just want to give a huge shout out to them. And also, as you can see, I got New Balance on. And so I have New Balance on right now, and they legit send us they send us like a box. It feels like a box of something a week. And they've really been hooking us up. So that, with no further ado, we'll jump into the shoe case really quick. So we're going to talk about the shoe case, because the shoe case today is going to be surprisingly all New Balance, because really that's going to be a lot of shoes that we'll be relying on season 2, and we have been before. If you go back and check our Instagrams and all this other stuff, we've been running in a lot of New Balance shoes, because they because they have some fire, right? A1. That
solid
little, if I could, that little, is it this? That's the thing. Okay.
This
on the emoji, it's like a weird,
That's they had to figure out how to.
You're like, how do you make this look like the thing? But so yeah, you first, man. What New Balance fire are you bringing to the PR project floor right now?
Hold on, I had a second thought.
No, second thought. Oh, real quick side note. New Balance lifestyle. Shout out to the New Balance lifestyle side, because they always come in super fire with the collabs and the well, all right.
We're on the same page, my boy.
Wow.
This is the New Balance 2002 R. This is like one of the hottest shoes of the year, to be honest. So shout out to New Balance for these. They just dropped a collab with Teddy Santis, which is the creator of Ame Leondor and Heat. You just know, I mean, New Balance has been killing the game, but we're gonna jump into some more running specific things. So, bam,
All right, boom. What's that?
RC Elite V2.
We're talking.
Beautiful shoe. I actually wore this shoe is fresh on my brain because I wore this shoe for my long run today.
Yeah,
I loved it. I really love this shoe. Super reliable. Not the poppiest shoe ever, but it's just like I never feel like I'm gonna have a misstep in these shoes. It's just super. It's like the guy that comes to work every day. Like he's gonna show up and he's gonna do his job. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what these do. They do their job, bro. Don't roll your eyes at my comparisons.
no, that was perfect.
Gary had me. I ain't gonna say fighting for my life because I wasn't fighting for my life, but you know how I can get with Gary. You know how sticky you get with Gary.
Yeah, Gary is a weird. It's a weird thing.
No, it's great. So we almost had perfect splits on our long run today. We started out right around 8. It got a little hot like early on. We were under 8 early on, and I'm just like, so I'm like, all right, whatever, we rocking. So, yep. I feel like I haven't been on Belle Isle in a long time, so that was really cool. And RC,
I'm just gonna jump in here though. Belle Isle to me is just sucks, bro. There's nothing about that process that makes me feel happy about anything on there.
I like going over the bridge when I'm going down, but going up, I'll be like, why am I doing this? Why am I doing it? So back to the shoe, man. Oh no.
What? Oh, you done put some miles on that bad boy.
The boy done put some miles on it.
Good thing. Shout out New Balance.
I have another pair of these that is practically the inverted colors of this shoe. So I really dig this gold and pink colorway. I don't know why, because it's not like a colorway I would have picked out on my own, but it's unique. I really love that big MB branding right there. Yeah, man. Fuel cell. Got the New Balance branding there. This is carbon fiber plated.
Yep.
It is a super shoe, but I wouldn't necessarily say it is extreme. It's not. The stack height isn't as extreme as some of the other super shoes we see. So this still feels similar to a daily trainer in that aspect of the responsiveness. But this foam is very resilient, and it's not like you feel the ground all the time in these. Nice rocker, not super aggressive, but it does roll you a little bit. I'm a big fan of these. I'm definitely this is definitely, I would say, top 2 or 3 shoes that I go to for a long run, because it is just so reliable, and I don't have to worry about any hot spots. I don't have to worry about anything that I don't like in these shoes. Every run I've done in them, I've enjoyed. So shout out to New Balance. Shout out to the RC Elite 2. I look forward to putting more mileage down in these for sure.
So I'm a piggyback on that really quick. I definitely agree. Like these are I like these because they're so versatile, and I feel like a lot of times some of these super shoes are just so, I mean, you really can only race in them because of the way that it feels when you run. Like some shoes you just easy pace is just kind of not torture, but it's just they're just not meant for that, and you can really feel that. These shoes are extremely versatile. So if you were saying like, hey, I need a shoe that I could do, that I'm not in a position or want to just buy a shoe that I can only wear twice, and then jump in race day and only wear that once and then they're dead or gone or whatever. If you want a shoe that you can throw into some recovery days, some obviously some speed days, some tempos or intervals, and then also race day even, this is a very good shoe and definitely worth the money for it, because you can really stretch this out and do kind of what you need to it, and you place it where you need to in your training. So RC Elite 2 is a really great shoe. Like you said, it's not as aggressive as some of the other shoes out there, like, because it does bend up pretty easy. It's not like really snappy. It's very kind of flexible, which is cool, and that's why it's probably very comfortable, but it's just not as like snappy as you would love to have for like a race day shoe, especially for the marathon. So they are coming out with another version at the end of the year, obviously, So we're probably going to see a higher stack and probably a much more aggressive snap to it.
Yes, they will. I would definitely say. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut
Oh
you off.
yeah, for sure they
Jessica
will.
says, will they work in the gym and for a good run after? Absolutely. Absolutely. They are, like Tommy said, they're an extremely versatile shoe.
Yeah.
I've taken them out for long runs. I've taken them out for intervals on the track. And where it lacks in that snappiness, that foam is bouncy. Not like OD bouncy, but bouncy enough to give you a good return. And to save your legs for later on in the workout or later on in the race. So
yeah,
a very versatile shoe. I would definitely I would definitely say that you'd be more than good to go for a gym session and then out on the road as well.
Yeah, and it's just like the width of like the base of these is I mean, it's not substantial, it's not crazy, but it's not a narrow it doesn't have a narrow sole to it. So it's not like you're just you know, some of these super shoes, the stack is higher normally, and then you also have a narrow footing, so you know you can roll easy. This is probably one of the only. There's only like 2 super shoes that probably that I would feel okay with like lifting in as well, and this is one of them. So
that one is
good question.
Those aggressive, the ones with the aggressive roll,
that's
hard to really like stay on your heels because it's not made to do that.
Yeah.
But those, when I was doing my squats in my warm up, I'm like, okay, these are fine. I don't feel off balance. I don't feel in danger of falling over. So yeah, I would definitely say those are good for that. Malik says, any early favorite shoes heading into Erie or NYC, or is it too early to know? I know I have an early favorite that Tommy is actually about to.
Yeah, I'll jump right in that. Thank you so much, Malik, for the segue into the shoe. I'm gonna pull up this shoe right here. This is the New Balance Supercomp Trainer. I think I just talked about this last episode, but this is a new season. This is a season of New Balance. And so this shoe right here is the Supercomp Trainer. It comes out fairly soon. It's not out yet, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, it's out right now.
Yes,
the stack, it's an illegal shoe. So, I mean, so technically you couldn't, race a big race in this. It's like a US ATF, whatever certified race.
They won't pull you though. I promise.
They're not going to pull you, but I mean, you can't go win a race in these, and then they will pull you. It's a 47-inch stack height in the back, and I think it's a 39-inch in the front, so it's like an 8 millimeter drop or something, pretty close to that. But 40 inches in the stack at all is like the legal limit. These are 47, so these are designed for lots of miles. To get out there in training. It's called the Super Comp Trainer because their new Super Comp line has it has a carbon fiber plate in it. So they threw a lot of foam in here to make sure that your legs are safe and feeling good on your easy runs, recovery runs. But then they have that plate in there to make sure it's as stable as possible. I feel like Nike kind of started this type of energy when they came out with the Invincibles, right? The Invincible. Because it's a ton of foam and it's meant to save your legs. You're supposed to go out there, put lots of miles in, and hopefully not feel it as much as you would if it was a normal like running shoe. So New Balance seems like they just said, you know what, we'll take it, we'll take that, we'll add a plate to it, add some more foam to it, and
tripling down on it,
and say like, we see your dollar, we raise you $2, and go with this one. So this is a really great shoe. I will put on a lot of miles on this shoe. They also have a counterpart to this shoe. It's called the Super Comp Pacer, which we actually just got. I have yours here too, Aaron. I gave them to you, right?
Yes, I have them.
Yeah, cool. Super Comp Pacer, and that's a much more low profile shoe, but it also has a carbon plate in it and is for like the faster work, like intervals and maybe not tempos, probably more intervals and things like that on the track or on the road. But yeah.
So I think I will venture out to say that as long as the Super Comp Trainer doesn't degrade super quick, which I don't expect it, I'll probably run in that shoe more than any other shoe of all the shoes we have for this training block.
Yeah. Oh, what's this Alexis is talking about here?
She says she has a half marathon on a non-technical trail and she doesn't know if she should bring out super shoes. It's tricky.
Yeah. Well, so like non-technical, like is it straight up like a dirt trail or is it like a rail trail type vibe? Or
if it's just packed gravel, Pull those super shoes
Yeah,
out.
super shoes out for
But
sure.
I would say it just depends on the amount of turns and like navigating that you have to do. But if
Yeah.
it's a trail that's just straight lines, wear the super shoes. Wear the super shoes and go out there and have a day.
Yeah, and Jessica said those look like they can take some miles. Decisions. Yeah, if you are looking for a shoe that you can run, I don't know how many times you run a week, but if you want a shoe that you can do all your easy runs in, all your long runs in for the most part, unless you're doing some work in your long runs and you want them to last for a whole training block, I think this is it. I think
She
this is
said
it.
all the run influencers have that shoe. Well, we have that shoe too. So
Yes, we are influencers.
all right. So next up, we spoke about this shoe before, but I ran my longest distance in this shoe this week, so I kind of wanted to circle back and give my thoughts on it. So this is the New Balance Fuel Cell Rebel V2. I like this shoe. This shoe this shoe is it feels like the lightest shoe I own for some reason. Like it's just I think that's the strongest point of this particular model is it's just so light. You barely feel it. If you're into that, then yes, this is the shoe for you. I took it out for a 10-mile easy run on Monday, I believe. I don't necessarily know if 10 miles is the greatest distance for this shoe, but it got me through the 10 miles. It's still bouncy. I've put quite a bit of miles on them. You can see this is kind of dirty. This is Tuesday, by the way. You can go to my Instagram and check out my reels. You know, I got recaps, all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Come holler at your boy. But yeah. The Rebel V2, bouncy, super light, super fun. I think this is what I would call a fun shoe. Like it's just fun to wear these. I get tons of compliments because they are so striking as far as the color blocking. So if you are into light, if you are into responsiveness, because it is definitely a very responsive shoe. And when I say responsive, I mean if you like to keep that connectivity to the ground, if you like to feel the road under your feet, this is very proficient at that. But it's not to the point where it feels like you're running in a flat. Still gives you some resistance, some energy return, but also gives you that feeling of the classic race shoe where you can feel the road or feel the track under your feet. So I would I recommend this shoe if you want to have some fun, if you want to take it out for, I would say maybe 6 to 8 miles is maybe the limit at one time.
Yeah,
but
slightly quicker too on those.
Yeah,
too,
and if you don't own any super shoes or any like track specific shoe, this is definitely more than capable of taking to the track and ripping some 400s in or some 1Ks or something like that. This is definitely capable of that too, especially with the super bouncy feel. It just kind of begs you to like pick it up a little bit. So I like the Rebel V2. Yeah, man, how could you not like that color blocking, bro? Like the big ends wrapped around the foot. A solid, I would say it's not a like I feel like New Balance has a rotation and there are some non-negotiables in that rotation. I don't feel like this is a non-negotiable in the rotation for if you want to go all New Balance, but it's cool to have. It's cool to add to the rotation to throw in some variation. But I think my rotation for New Balance would be the RC Elite 2 for race day / long run tempo, the Super Comp Trainer for recovery, and also the 1080 if you want to throw that one in there, which Tommy has over there. The 1080 definitely fits well into that rotation because it's a little more versatile. If you don't like that super high stack of the Super Comp Trainer, the 1080 kind of fills right in and gives you the 1080 feels very similar to the RC Elite 2, just not as super shoot out, but it's a similar vibe.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's the Rebel V2 doesn't necessarily have a perfect landing spot in that rotation, but it's something that you can swap in on an easy day, or if you wanted to do some speed in it, it's definitely capable of that.
Yeah, I feel like that shoe kind of answers. There's some runners that need that lightweight, kind of quick shoe, and
Yeah.
that's it. And that's their answer to that. That's their Pegasus,
Yeah.
and but much softer, softer of a landing in that shoe. And Jessica said, what on a 1 to 10, what would you give the last one? I think she's talking about the
Super
Supercomp trainer. I'm giving it, for what it is, for a trainer shoe, I'm giving it a 10.
I give it
I
a
mean,
9. I give it a 9.3.
I feel like there's nothing I want to change. I mean, if they say what would you change, for me, I don't have anything that I would change in it.
I agree.
So,
I agree. It's a solid shoe, but I don't know if I give out 10s.
yeah.
I don't know if I give out 10s.
All right. So next one
comes. Turn into something real quick. Something different, real quick. Let's just keep rolling.
Oh yeah, I know. They're like, well, I agree to a certain extent.
Rate yourself without using a 7.
Oh my god. All right, and then what we got next? We have the my other shoe that's in this rotation. You just alluded to the New Balance Fresh Foam 1080 V12. This is the tank. To me, you throw this shoe on, and this is absolutely an easy day recovery shoe. It's everything that you kind of like. I see a lot of people that will do a lot with this shoe. Luckily, I do have the RC Elite 2, and then that, and what you just showed, the Rebel V2. So I wouldn't have this for a tempo day at all, really, because it's on the heavier side. It is a trainer. It's a lot of foam under here. It just fits really well. It's super comfortable. For me, it's a no-brainer on those days where I feel like my legs are beat up. And definitely before we had the Supercomp trainer, I would reach for these on those days where I was just kind of gassed. Maybe a Monday after a big long run, or a Thursday after a workout on Wednesdays. These are definitely some shoes that you want to have in the rotation if you're not going to go, like Aaron said, with that higher stack. Someone asked me the other day about the Supercomp trainer and that stack, what are turns like. They did a really good job of having a pretty solid base for a high stack shoe. But yeah, I'm not going to bend any corners tight on those, just because it's just not the thing you want to do. But this shoe is more versatile in that sense, where it is much more of a standard or typical running shoe. So you can ask a lot more of it, I think. It is not as bouncy as the other shoe, but it is definitely going to absorb a lot of the beating of high miles and all that stuff. This will be a shoe that I'm sure people can get 350 to 400 miles on these shoes, because the foam is bouncy, but it is pretty dense as well. So it's a good shoe. And if I had to give this a 1 to 10, I'd give this, for its purpose, I'd give it a 9, because you can also, it's light enough and kind of bouncy enough where you can go ahead and do some strides at the end of an easy run. So I give this an A, or A. Yeah, an A. I'll give it an A.
So, and just to piggyback off that, if somebody asked me what shoe, especially a novice runner or somebody just starting out, if they ask me what shoe should I get from New Balance, the 1080 would be the one I would give them, because like you said, it is versatile enough to do everything. It's also resilient enough to take on quite a beating. So yeah, the 1080s would easily be my recommendation for your first foray into the New Balance lineup. And the price point at 160 is pretty standard for a elevated trainer, because I guess that's what I would call that, kind of an elevated daily trainer. So the 1080 is the workhorse of the lineup, and that would definitely be the shoe that I would recommend if you are interested in jumping into the New Balance game.
Yeah, and for sure, if you're not one of those ones that, like Aaron said, if you're not hey, I want to have 6 of the New Balance shoes, because they also have the More V3, which is a bouncier, softer version of, not version, but a bouncy, softer version of the 1080s. I said the same thing again. So they're just a little bit, the 1080s are a little more compact and a little more a firm foam, the fresh foam is just the crazy thing is it's all fresh foam, which is
Yeah.
weird. They just do different things with it, kind of manipulate it. So the 10As are a little more of a firm ride, but I guess the more V3 is much bouncier, and it's kind of like that. It's like an extension or higher stack of that Rebel V2 that you had, Aaron. That's real squishy, and there's just more foam there to be squished, But yeah, if you only had two options really, and you wanted to have two New Balance shoes, I'd say RC Elite 2, because you want that faster, quick shoe, and then that 1080 or the more V3, depending on what you're looking for.
Yeah, I concur. I would agree.
For sure. So yeah, I mean, shout out to New Balance for number one having so many options. Number two, for them all being good options too, because sometimes you see a brand that has a lot of different shoes. It's hard to pick from. Some of them basically cancel each other out. What is this for? But honestly, like that like you said, the Rebel V2 isn't necessarily a mandatory shoe in the rotation, but it answers a few requests, or answers a few questions, like from the consumers. Like, some people really need that shoe in their line, and I feel like I'm one of those people that need that lighter, quick shoe. So they feel like they're answering the right questions for their consumers.
I think I would say New Balance has one of the most streamlined lineups of shoes, because they don't really waste a lot of energy. They keep everything concise. And then even if you need like a stability shoe, the 880 is there too. So
yeah,
they kind of touch all bases, and they do them all well. So,
yeah, and they all have a role, and they because like sometimes, like, even the biggest brands, I mean, they all do it. They'll have a shoe that's like, if you have both of them, it's like it's the same thing. But really good job. Streamline is what I was looking for. Thank you, Aaron. That's why we have a show together. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, man. So I'm excited, man. Season 2 is upon us. What are you about to say?
Before you go, I just kind of wanted a little more from the trip to Virginia and how that went for you.
Oh, yeah. So my trip to Virginia was really cool. The trip to Virginia, if you don't know, I went down to Richmond, Virginia. Kira D'Amato, who is the American women's record holder for the marathon, ran 2:19:12 in Houston last year, which is a crazy time for someone that, like, I think she's like 37 or something like that, mother of 2, realtor, full-time realtor, all that stuff. Came back this is her second tour of running, she calls it, or second chance, really, because she ran in like
of duty.
Yeah, she ran in high school and college, and kind of got away from it because she had an injury. But anyway, so I went down there. She opened up a store in the Richmond area, and I'm like, hey, I should come down and interview in the store. That'd be cool, fun, and all that. She's been on my show, the Run Eat Sleep Show, a couple times. So she's like, yep, come down. So I ended up staying with them and her family at their house there, and spent 2 nights. Did a live show in Richmond in the new store. And then also did a fun little show with her and her husband, because he's like, I mean, he's a maniac or whatever. But it was really cool to be there, like I said earlier, to see like the process and the care that she puts into her running. One of the biggest takeaways, though, for me, was that how present she is in all the moments, right? Like, when it's time to run and all that, she does all the things she needs to do to have a successful run or workout. But then also the fact, like, when the only time we talked about running for 2 days was when I brought it up, like, and I thought that, like, it would just be a running household, that all we talk about is running. The kids talk about running. The husband talks about running. They'd never really talked about running at all unless I said something about, like, anything, So I loved that. And I'm like, hey, dude, like, I don't even do this for a living, and I talk about it all the time. So I'm going to try to spare the people in my life a little bit and talk less about running, and, talk about other things.
Save it for the show.
Save it for the show. But the funniest thing, though, I get there, they're a fun family. I get there, and like, we made vegan pizza. I made vegan pizza. They made normal pizza for them and the kids. And with artichokes, which I got to tell you how they cooked them and how they ate them. It was pretty incredible. Like, I didn't know you could eat artichokes like this, but that's what they do. So we ate artichokes as the appetizer, then the pizza, and then ice cream, right? So we went from that vegan pizza for me, her husband had normal pizza, tried my vegan pizza, and then he had a Modelo beer, and then he also had ice cream, like two different kinds of ice cream. And then in the process, we're talking about Falmouth Road Race, which is coming up next week. And he's like, yeah, I probably could hang with the men's lead pack for, maybe a quarter mile. And she's like, I don't know. And he's like, yeah, I definitely could. So we look up the time and we guess that it's like he'd need a 66-second quarter mile, one lap around the track. And he's like, I could do that for sure. And she's like, you can run a sub 66, you think? And he's like, yeah, for sure. And then immediately, kids, like she said, kids, let's go into the track, put your shoes on, we're going to the track right then. And I'm like, is this escalated so quickly? Like, and then the kids actually like grab their shoes. He walks away. I'm thinking like he was just kind of like, I was just joking. He comes back with shorts on, ready to go, some split shorts, ready to go. And so we all hop in the car. Within 15 minutes of, I didn't even have time to finish my ice cream. I had to put the ice cream in the freezer because it was happening so quickly. Next thing you know, we're at the track, a legendary track apparently. Kelly Wells, she's like, she has a plaque up on the wall. She went to high school there. Look up Kelly Wells, amazing talent in the hurdles. So we get there, and he does a little 2 laps around the track as a warm up, and he had all this food, right? Halfway around the first lap, I could see him from a distance catch like a side stitch. He's like grabbing his side because he had a cramp, right? So I'm like, oh, this is going left quick, right? So he's like, as he comes around after the second one, he's like, man, I feel worse now doing the warm up. I should have maybe just ran or whatever. So I'm like, he's definitely not gonna do this. He has on vapor flies. He, whatever. He's hyped up. He takes off and runs a 60.1. Like with all this food, bro. And he was talking like it was the craziest thing. They gave him a trophy. One of his kids like they brought a trophy from like something that she had or whatever, and he got a trophy and a medal at the end. It was the funniest thing that I've ever seen, and I will never doubt. When Elliot said that he no human is limited, I didn't believe him, but after this day, I do believe that no human is limited. If you just believe you can do it, go out there and push. Yeah, make sure you have pizza, ice cream, and beer, and you could do whatever you want.
It's like the fuel of America, bro.
Huh?
That's like the fuel of America.
Fuel of America.
Ice cream and beer, bro. Like that's what keeps America running. They say Dunkin' no, you're not running on Dunkin'.
America does not run on Dunkin'.
We're running on pizza and ice cream and beer, bro. That's America.
Only other thing that you could add to that list is like donuts. I mean, Dunkin' has donuts, but you need more than that in life. But yeah, it was a really great trip. I feel like I learned a lot about running and how to approach it. Malik said it wasn't the ending I was expecting. There's a live video that's posted on Kira's page that you can watch the whole thing play out. It is hilarious. But it was a really great trip. I learned a lot about running and things. Learned way more than I thought I would. I watched her do a workout. Heavy workout. 2 miles at 450, sub 450 pace. 2 miles around the track, 450 or so. Then 4 by 1 mile at fast, like maybe 440s, 430s. And then 4 by 400s, sub that. 7 miles of work, all below 4 minute and 50-second pace on a track.
That was enough to show you that you are a mortal human being, right?
I am super humbled by that experience. Like watching it happen was just, I mean, she was grinding though. Like, she didn't look like, that's the other thing too. I'm like, I want to be like that. Like, I want to I mean, it happens sometimes, but I don't think we go to the well like as much as she was in the well in those last 400s.
In that pain cave.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure we'll get there. This block. I saw a few workouts on my schedule that I will see our Lord and Savior.
Can't wait. Yeah, Jessica said, "Whoo, that girl is fast." That's how I figured she said it. Super fast, crazy. But all right, man. I appreciate y'all being here. Season 2 is officially started. Like we said, shout out to New Balance for this whole process and being able to do some dope things in November. The race is November 6th in New York City. We will cross all 5 boroughs. Wait, what is that?
Shout out New Balance. Oh, this is just a little collab shoe that they did with this brand called Ame Leondor. 550s.
Oh,
Everybody.
and you got the yeah, you ain't showed nobody that you got the Stone Island joints either.
I forgot I had those.
You forgot you had those.
Wow. I should have wore those to the barbecue. I'm tripping, bro.
You are super tripping. What'd you wear? Those?
I wore the 550s. Yeah.
I guess that's pretty good too, though. But all right, man. Season 2, episode 1 is officially over. You can find me on Instagram at Tommy_runs, TOMMIE_RUNZ. And you can find this guy,
Aaron X Worldwide, AARONXWORLDWIDE. Follow me. I'm making more content now. Tommy talked me into doing reels. So it's lit. We doing everything.
Yeah, man. He was too good for running for a while there, but now he realizes don't nobody care about all the other stuff you talking about, man. Nobody cares about your fits, bro. All right. Peace out, y'all.